Hi, it's your sewing Sherpa Shauna doing my little obsessive thing with this double rolled mitered corner thing. So I've made the template. So all you have to do is like cut out these little boxes and let's see if it works. So I have cut out a napkin for New Year's and a placemat for New Year's. I'm going to use the half-inch roll on the napkin, and I'm going to use the 1-inch roll for the placemat. So first of all, to make this work, you got to cut out. So this one's the 1-inch roll. Cut out on the dotted line. Didn't realize I'd done these dotted lines in blue. It's a dark day here. It's hard to see what colors on the monitor. You know, I forgot my glasses. Fancy. Pink. All right. So once you've got the template cut out, you got to poke holes where there's the red spots. So I'm poking this hole here, poking this hole here. And this one's right on the edge, so it's kind of hard to poke. It's like half a poke. It doesn't matter. It's just a spot, you know. All right, so I've got my 1-inch roll thing here ready to go. And I'm going to prep my half-inch roll too. 1/4 inch is really small. I did those on some silk handkerchiefs for a wedding once. I mean, not using my templates because these templates are brand new today, but I think these templates are going to work. I think so. All right, paper out of my way. And I have to do it like this because somebody for Christmas decided to break into my car and steal all the crap I had in there, which was like nothing. Some masks in the glove box, my multi-tool. I miss my multi-tool. But the day before, I had put my tripod in the trunk, not in the trunk, in the back seat. So I was taking pictures of Watson in front of this really cool truck. Anyhow, took the tripod, so I am left with this. All right, 1/2-inch roll. And I've poked a hole, half a hole there, a hole and a hole. It says corner right here. So if I go on the wrong side of my fabric, so I'm on the wrong side of my fabric. Let's see if there's any easy way to show this to you. Take this part that says corner, and I'm going to put it in the corner, and then I'm going to take my pencil and I'm going to make a little spot there. You could use chalk too, or a pen, or whatever you're comfortable with. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I'm just going to make sure it went through. So there's my 1 spot, 2 spots, and 3 spots. Now, as long as I keep that same aspect, so basically I've got this paper like this, right? And I'm just going to turn to my next corner. Spot. I think I'm almost out of lead. I don't know. Or maybe just the universe is laughing at me. 1, 2, 3. Okay, corner. 1. 2, 3. I'm having some trouble with my lead. It's not sure if it's out or not. I'm telling you, I came into the studio this morning. It took 3 hours for the heater to turn on. All right, keeping it the same aspect. You ever have those days where you're just like, everything, I hate everything. I mean, I don't hate everything. I'm pretty sure it's got to be like vitamin related or caffeine maybe. I did have a giant Starbucks, one of those venti with the sugar. All right, so I've got the 3 corners marked. Little spots on the wrong side of the fabric. Then I'm going to take my fabric and I'm going to fold it like this so I can see my 3 spots. And have my sewing machine over here, and I'm going to sew from 1 spot, 2 spots, needle in, pivot, 3 spots, back tack. And I have some paper shears here, nice. And I'm I'm trimming up close to that. I'm also going to like trim that tip off and trim that tip off. And then I'm also going to cut up to my pivot point. I thought I had my good scissors here. So let's see. And oh no, just kidding. Yeah, one of the tricks to getting a good mitered corner is making sure you push that corner out. You think that would make it deeper, but it makes it shallower. Or more shallow, if shallower isn't a word. But then I folded that second row in and you'll see perfect mitered corner. So that little template, if you put that on anything, any square corner, you should be able to create a mitered corner from it. A double mitered corner with just a simple 3-step sewing sequence. All right. And trim across from tip to tip. Do my little tent cutout so it feels like clip up to the corner. Roll it out, roll it under. Take your shears that don't have pointy ends, just kind of rounded ends. Bam, another one. That quick. Okay, template works. So I'm going to try it now with my 1-inch template, the big one. And there's no really wrong side with this. So corner, as long as I keep it in the same aspect, right? As long as I keep it in the same aspect. So I have this as corner, so I'm gonna put it in the corner. Spot, ouch, spot, spot. There's my 3 spots. And I can turn it, keeping that in the same aspect, do my other corner. 3 spots. One, two, three. You'll notice this is the selvage, and I usually don't use the selvage in my projects, but because this is going to be a full, 2 inches in, it's going to totally incorporate it. I'll never see it. It's good by me. So anyways, I'll just keep doing that around, but let's just see, does this work? So I fold this out so that the 2 edges are lined up. There's 1 spot, 2 spots, 3 spots. I think technology sometimes is really frustrating. I mean, I love technology and I love like programming and computers and stuff like that. I feel like we're getting so far ahead of ourselves. Like we haven't even got the stuff we've got out to work properly, and we're coming out with new stuff. Can we just get something to work, Oh, next time, my good shares. Okay. I should have just clipped across first. Anyways, I didn't. So you see, a little tent. Flip and tuck. And a beautiful 1-inch miter. All right. Hi, it's Sewing Sherpa, and this is part 2 of the double mitered corner situation. And the only reason I'm doing this is in case you're like me and you don't go and check out the other videos and all the other things that lead you up to this. I'm just gonna wrap it up. So, I still am wearing my pink glasses. I have done my double rolled all the way around. This is my 1/2 inch. And it's not sewn down yet, but it does look really nice, right? Because I pressed it. Now, I am not a big presser. If you know me, you know I don't press very often, but these kind of things are one of those things that I will take a little extra time and hit it with some heat and steam so that I'm not struggling with it and it looks real professional. And I will sew all the way around really close to this inside edge, not the outside, but the inside, just as close as I can without going off. And when I get to the corners, I'm going to pivot instead of going all the way to the end and back tacking. So I'll show you that. Now I've also got my large one done, my placemat. So this is one side of the placemat and this is the other side, and it's going to look really good just sewn down, right? But you can also take, you know, some other fabric, and in this case I use the same fabric I made the napkin out of, and you can cut it so that it is slightly smaller than your finished placemat. So let's say this placemat were, you know, 20 inches by, I think it's 18 inches by 12 inches or something like that. I would cut this like 17.5 by 11.5. Just slightly smaller, and I don't measure and draw a line. What I do is I just set my placemat on top of my fabric, and then I cut around it, and then I cut a ½ inch off the top and ½ inch off of one edge, and then all of a sudden it's magically smaller, right? So then you tuck this in. I'm always about like those little shortcuts. Although this year I've decided I'm going to take my time and do a little bit more pressing and a little bit more pinning and a little less hurry, because maybe if I demand less of myself, the world will demand less of me. Let's see how that goes. So see how cute that is? All right, so I'll use this one for an example since it's already here. I'm going to start near the edge, and I'm using the inside of this presser foot as a guide. You always want to find some sort of spot on your presser foot to kind of give you a good guide. So I'm going to have it in a slightly longer stitch because I think it looks better longer, and it doesn't really need to be short. It's not doing anything durable. So I'm setting it about 3.25. I'm not going to back tack because I'll be sewing over the same spot at the end, and I'll back tack at that time. So I'm sewing really close to the fold, really close. Here's my sew line. And when I get to the corner, I'm going to sew right up to the corner. And there's nothing wrong with hand wheeling it if you're afraid you're going to sew too far. And then with the needle down, I'm going to turn the corner and pivot. So I'm sewing really close, and I don't have to worry if I'm sewing straight because I pressed it straight. See, and that's the good thing about pressing it straight. Okay, get to the corner. Again, if you want to, you can hand turn it, pivot, needles in, next direction, and you can pin this down. I mean, some fabrics are going to be a little bit slippery, and you're going to need it to like not slip. This is kind of a sticky fabric. It's just a plain cotton, and it's behaving really well. So I get to the final corner. Oh, I went one stitch too far. Ah! So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit my reverse button, and I'm going to go hand wheel it one stitch back. And I'm just going to pretend like I didn't do that, and it doesn't matter. Nobody's going to know it either. A stitch like that going too far on something super pro, man, what a bummer, right? So I just ran over where I started, and I'm going to go back 2 stitches. So now I've just got 2 stitches there instead of a whole big pile of stitches. And then I'm going to assume that I have scissors around here so I can release myself from the placemat, from the sewing machine. And you can see on the outside edge, I have just got a row of stitching that you see pivoting right there, right? On the other side, it's sewed down. So that's how you finish it up. Have fun sewing. And again, this will work for like scarves and shawls and things like that if you're into sewing those. Okay,